solidly as they are now.
The best part is knowing when he's inducted into the Impact Hall of Fame, it won't be all jokes. You know, I thought Mr. T's induction was the funniest induction in history.
Mr. T's was just so boring.
He loves his mama.
Actually, in all honesty, before we went on air, I just hopped online and checked. He's actually still giving his speech. Legit. I mean, they got it on live stream. It's not. I mean, they had to cut it off at a point, but they have it on. He's still giving his speech. It's still going on.
They put the screens up and put live fans on, so he thinks that people.
Yeah, they got the Thunderdome surrounding Mr. T, but it's all just A-Team members. It's just reruns of A-Team, but he doesn't know the difference. He thinks it's amazing. There's a couple screens showing MacGyver. You can't fucking tell the difference. A-Team, MacGyver, same fucking shit. Come on.
One screen with a Klansman in a hood.
Of course. I mean, that's
wouldn't be WWE without
it. WWE, exactly.
Fat Mac.
What?
It's time for the return of the much anticipated Token JRR. Want to tell us a little bit about this week's clip?
Well, if it's anything like wrestling this week or the news, it's probably shitty, but I honestly don't think it is. You see, Eric Bischoff has heard about Retribution, and he ended up he literally got a message, a DM from T-Bar. And that got brought up on their podcast, 83 Weeks, with Conrad Thompson and Eric Bischoff. And he wasn't sure who this person was that was messaging him. It was a T-Bar. And, well, just let Eric take it from here, Pasty.
All right.
What is a T-Bar? What, has he been in the business for a minute and a half? His coffee's still hot? Come on, give me a break. If we're going to talk about it, T-Bar, if we're going to talk about it, look, I feel for you. I feel for you. You're new in the business. You're greener than goose shit. You've really not accomplished anything yet. I know you will. I believe you have potential. And I'm not blaming you for the Retribution storyline. I'm not blaming the writing team. I'm certainly not blaming one of my best friends, Bruce Pritchard. But this is a fucked up story. It's like, could you possibly screw up an invasion storyline anymore in such a short period of time? And you can't blame the talent. They're doing the best they can. And this is a big opportunity for you, T-Bone or T-Bar or T-Rex or whoever you are. I get it. It's not your fault. And this storyline, T-Bone, is just something you're a part of that, it's not your fault. I get it. Be careful about lashing out on social media, quite yet. Now, if this thing gets some traction and ends up being something that everybody's excited about, I will be the first to apologize for my premature judgment of the storyline, recognize that, I've been around for a minute or two and I've made my own fair share of dumb mistakes and all of the above, and I will apologize, but I ain't worried about
it.
T-Bar, T-Bone,
old T-Bone,
T-Rex, whatever your fucking name is.
Yeah,
he's definitely never accomplished anything in his young career. That's for sure.
Eric sure isn't a fan of his by no means, or the whole Retribution angle, obviously.
If he's not blaming the talent or the writers or Bruce Pritchard, I wonder who he could be pointing his finger at.
I wonder. It is funny because I love the fact that, Eric Bischoff, he doesn't follow wrestling a whole hell of a lot, obviously, but it's like Dominic Dijakovic, he's he's been around for almost a decade.
Yeah.
And he's been making big moves. I mean, for easily
That's what I said. Like, he's definitely never accomplished.
Yeah. Oh my God. He's like, his cup of coffee isn't even cold yet. It's like, I love it. I love it. It's great shit. It's typical Eric Bischoff.
It's
not
funny.
in a bad way.
You know, the best part is Retribution shit was probably happening way back when he was in WWE.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
the hacker that was going on back then. It's amazing that they could screw up an Invasion storyline in such a short time. Come on, Bischoff.
Right.
You were there. It was probably your idea. It's an Invasion storyline. It was probably your idea.
It's fun. It's just fun. I just absolutely love it. Good old Eric Bischoff. He can get fired up every now and then, too.
It's good. It's good. I'm surprised he didn't think it was Tony Khan's friend. What's his fuck?
Oh, not Alvarez. Marquez.
Yeah, no, Alvarez.
Marquez. Yeah. That was good shit, too. Old Alex Marquez. That was rough. He shit on him so fucking hard. That was great. I could only imagine how he felt after he found out that was some cat he never really fucking met. Or that he did even meet once. And
imagine the apology he's going to issue next week when he finds out that it's Dijakovic.
Right? Oh, shit. I remember that one time you and I were hanging out. We smoked a hookah together. Old T-Bar. Old T-Bone. T-Rex. I want to start calling them T-Bone now, though.
There you go.
It was so good, Pacey, but you know what else was really good?
What's that?
Victory Road. Impact
Wrestling's
pay-per-view that they just had. Oh my gosh. We're going to kind of zip through it here. You didn't catch it. But it was a really, really good show, actually.
I'll be honest, I was too busy watching NXT Takeover 31 twice.
There you go. And that's not a bad thing. We'll start out. There was a pre-show tag match. The Rascals taking on Triple XL. I did catch this, and it was okay for a pre. It was about what a pre-show should be. It wasn't amazing, but it just let you know that shit's coming up. Good for it. We started out with Pacey's most anticipated match, Brian Myers defeating Tommy Dreamer, who Pacey knew.
Oh, man, what a way to start a show.
Yeah, Pacey knew he was going to lose, and he still bet on him.
This should have been your main event, I swear.
I gave this a C grade, but it really was a solid... It was very solidly wrestled. It wasn't spectacular, but it was two guys who know pro wrestling and put on a really good match. This is a really good mid-of-the-card match. Should not have opened the show. Really bad way to open the show. It was really one-dimensional. It's a C match. If it would have been in the middle of the card, I might have gave it a B-.
The only way Tommy Dreamer gets more than one dimension is with a kendo stick.
Yeah. But then we moved on to Rohit Raju's open challenge for the X Division Championship. And oh boy, did I mark out when Willie Mack walked through the fucking curtain. I thought that was so badass. I was like, Willie Mack needs to win the title. I'm sick of fucking Raju. He's a dick. He's a worm. And Willie Mack won, Pacey. But he won by countout. He didn't get the title.
Oh no, heel wrestler doing heel things, huh?
Yeah. I mean, it was great. Actually, Rohit does his job perfectly. He does what what's that dipshit's name in WWE nobody likes who could have been Rohit? He was in 3MB.
Heath Slater?
No, keep going. Not Drew Galloway.
Jinder Mahal.
Jinder Mahal. This is what Jinder Mahal should have been. Like charisma in the negativity. It's great. It was good old-fashioned wrestling, but It was a good match. I gave it a C again. I mean, it just was what it was. Should have been better with Mac, I think, but I liked it. Any thoughts on that, Pasty? On old Willie Mack being the surprise entrant?
Well, it's fairly upsetting to me, to be very honest.
Obviously.
Because this one came down to the fucking wire and had to be determined by our tiebreaker.
And it's the tiebreaker you picked.
Yeah.
Next match, we had Tenille Dashwood defeat Jordynne Grace. Pacey, both of us thought Grace would win this one. I thought she should have won it. But you know what? They had really great chemistry, and I think this was one of their best matches to date. Caleb with a K is amazing, and I think Caleb with a K and Dashwood need to stay together. They are the perfect heel team. He adds so much to her. I just absolutely love it. And even my son, Phantom, was saying, why is it Caleb with a K? And I was like, because it's Caleb, but it's spelled with a K. And he was like, well, most Calebs I know are spelled with a C. I know, but his is with a K. And he's going to tell you it's Caleb with a K. That's why his name isn't Caleb. It's Caleb with a K. That's his name.
He had one too many checks that he couldn't cash.
It's just awesome. It was really, really, I liked it. It could have been better.
Yeah, I like to hear that about Dashwood, though. I'm glad she's doing good.
And she's building momentum, and it's not going to be long before she's competing for the Knockouts title again. The only thing I would say is that my girl, who I'm in love with, who just recently got married to one of my favorite pro wrestlers, Jonathan Gresham, which pisses me off because I can't hate him because he married her, but I'm still in love with her.
Well, you can always try to kidnap her.
Yeah, right? We'll get to that later on. She's kind of in a bad position because she's a former champ, but she constantly seems to be losing these opportunities lately. It seems like the more women that come in, the farther she's pushed down, and she really shouldn't be. She really just shouldn't be.
I don't know. It works because eventually you'll get low enough that she'll go to AEW, right?
She would be great in AEW. She could only help. So
you just got to get pushed low enough to go to the AEW women's roster.
I gave this a B grade. I liked it. I enjoyed it, but I felt the wrong person won, and the only reason I almost gave it a C plus, but I was like, I ain't even gonna lie, Caleb with a K, man, he knocked it up a few notches. He is special as a manager. I don't want to see him wrestle as a manager. I fucking absolutely am in love with him. Anything,
I gotta
Pasty?
check it out. I gotta check it out.
You should. And a match that maybe you don't have to check out, but was good. Unsanctioned tag match: Rhino and Heath. Don't call me Slater versus Reno Scum. Again, this was a solid match. Quality heat. It was energetic. It was everything it needed to be, but it was pretty copy and paste. I gave it a C plus because it was pretty much copy and paste.
Did Heath get signed afterwards?
No.
Oh.
Of course not. Of course not. Then we got Trey Miguel, who defeated Moose, which just made me pop because, first of all, we didn't know this match was happening. Second of all, I'm not a big Moose fan. Third of all, I'm a huge Trey Miguel fan.
Hell yeah.
And when I seen that he was facing Moose, I was like, oh, they're just putting a squash match in here to put over Moose. No, not at all. It honestly was probably a little longer than it needed to be, but I really liked it. The sad part is Trey Miguel, it wasn't too long ago that he was fighting for the world title, and now he's just kind of here.
Well,
so
doesn't Moose still have the TNA World Championship?
He has
Heavyweight Championship.
He has the TNA Championship, which wasn't, quote, on the line